Alfonso V, called the Noble, became King of Leon at only 5 years old. When he reached adulthood, he seemed to be a capable king, but in the year 1028, while he besieged the Muslim-occupied town of Viseu, he was struck by a Muslim archer and died. Meanwhile, Sancho III, or Sancho the Great, was king of Navarra. Sancho was uninterested in a crusade with the Moors, but rather, he was interested in the expansion of Navarra. He was a very skilled politician, and during his reign, he acquired Castilla and Leon through marriage and diplomacy, essentially reuniting the Christian kingdoms once again under his rule. However, when he died in the year 1035, he deliberately destroyed the kingdom he created by dividing it between his 4 sons. These 4 kingdoms were Castilla, Leon, Navarra, and a new kingdom called Aragon. One of his 4 sons, Fernando, inherited Castilla. 2 years later, he defeated his brother-in-law in the Battle of Tamaron and added Leon to his kingdom. In the year 1054, Fernando defeated his elder brother, García III, at the Battle of Atapuerca and added Navarra to his possessions. This ugly and destructive internal strife for a time almost completely diverted the attention of the Spanish Christian rulers from the Long Crusade. However, in the year 1055, Fernando called an assembly for the restoration of Christendom and resumed the war against the Moors. According to tradition, he is the first to have himself crowned as Emperor of Spain. In the year 1060, Fernando forced the ruler of Zaragoza to pay him tributes and captured the fortresses of San Esteban de Gormaz, Berlanga, and Vadorrey. In 1062, Fernando forced the Muslim ruler of Toledo to pay him tribute. The next year, Fernando organized a raid into Sevilla and Badajoz, and both cities paid a ransom in exchange for his withdrawal. In the year 1064, Fernando took control of Coimbra after a 6-month siege. The next year, he laid siege to Valencia, but failed to take the city. In his retreat, he ambushed the Muslim forces that pursued his army and won the Battle of Paterna. After this battle, Fernando fell gravely ill and was brought in a litter to the Cathedral of Leon, Saint Isidore. There, in a manifestation of ardent piety, he fell to his knees in the robe of a monk, laid his crown upon the altar, and dropped ashes on his head, declaring, "Into thy hands I render the kingdom I received from thee, and beseech thee that my soul, which is now being delivered from the turmoil of this world, may find rest in thy holy peace." Fernando divided his kingdom in 3 parts, Galicia, Leon, and Castilla, between his 3 sons, and gave the cities of Toro and Zamora to his 2 daughters. Shortly after his death, the 2 older brothers dispossessed the 3rd. Then, both older brothers went to war against each other. Sancho, the oldest, defeated his brother Alfonso at the Battle of Llantada and the Battle of Golpejera, and secured the crown of the whole kingdom in the year 1072. He then besieged his sister Urraca at Zamora. However, Sancho was struck down in the field by a mysterious assassin. With Sancho's death, Alfonso recovered Leon, Castilla, and Galicia, and became King Alfonso VI. With his reign entered a period of success. In the year 1077, he assumed the title of Emperor of Spain. He then achieved the most significant conquest since the start of the Reconquista in the year 1085, which remains engraved in Spanish history: the Siege of Toledo. This hard-fought victory was of a tremendous historical importance because Toledo was an important cultural and strategic center and the ancient capital of the Visigoths, which was under Muslim rule since the 8th century. He then took Talavera and the castle of Aledo. He also occupied Madrid, now called Madrid, by capitulation. Alfonso then exacted heavy financial tributes from the Muslims, hoping to weaken them. As a result, Christian Spain was flooded with Muslim gold, which was then used as donations to monasteries, churches, and shrines, as well as for warfare. Islamic Spain was in crisis. In a desperate decision, the Muslim ruler of Sevilla, Al-Mutamid, called for the help of Yusuf ibn Tashufin, the Berber emir of North Africa. In the year 1086, a fierce army of Almoravids, which is the name used for the Muslim dynasty that now ruled North Africa, crossed the Straits of Gibraltar, determined to restore Islam in the Iberian Peninsula. This army wasted no time. They badly defeated Alfonso at the Battle of Sagrajas and started occupying the territories Alfonso had recovered. Alfonso, recognizing the imminent threat, raised his standard at Astorga and called for unity among Christians for a crusade. One of the knights that answered the call was to become a national hero and the best-known knight in Spanish history, El Cid.